China, a land where ancient history and futuristic skylines collide, where emperors once walked, and where nature itself defies imagination. Let's get started. Before we dive in, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. As a first-time traveler to China, landing in Beijing can feel overwhelming, but it's a fairly organized and modern airport, especially if you're prepared. Here's what to expect and how to find your guide. After immigration, you'll collect your luggage and go through customs. Once you exit into the arrival hall, look for someone holding a sign with your name or your tour company's logo on it. After meeting up with our wonderful guide interpreter, John, we were off to our hotel. The Novotel Beijing Peace Hotel offers a comfortable and convenient base for exploring Beijing. Located in the heart of the Wangfujing shopping district, it's within walking distance of major attractions like the Forbidden City and Tiananmen Square. It's also a place with a wide variety of food choices, though some might be unfamiliar to you. After a good night's sleep, we met up with our guide John. Our first stop will be the world-famous Tiananmen Square. This square is the largest public square in the world, where much history has been made, from imperial times to the modern day. I still remember when the 1989 Tiananmen Square protests were all over the news. The colossal square is flanked by the Great Hall of the People and Mao's mausoleum. The space feels like the pulse of the nation itself, as history echoes through the towering monuments to the people's heroes, while the red walls of the Forbidden City stand as a gateway to imperial China. Now, we move on to the Forbidden City, home to 24 emperors, a labyrinth of 980 buildings where the walls have witnessed power, betrayal, and intrigue. The Hall of Supreme Harmony stands grand, as if the Ming and Qing dynasties never left. And trust me, the sheer scale of this place will leave you speechless. Stepping inside, it's like entering another era. With nearly 10,000 rooms, intricate dragon carvings, and golden rooftops that stretch across 180 acres. This was once the home of emperors, their concubines, and powerful court officials. Every corridor feels like it holds 1,000 secrets.
And this is John, our guide for today. We're going to be going to the Ming tombs and also the Great Wall of China.
Yeah.
It's going to be a wonderful day.
A short distance away is our next stop, the Sacred Road and the Ming tombs. Just north of us is the Changling Ming tomb and the resting ground of Emperor Yongle.
Should I pet the bottom?
Yeah, we need the money.
So why are you guys rubbing turtle butt? Why?
This walkway is lined with enormous stone statues of dragons and other mythical creatures. They are said to guard the spirits of China's emperors. Our funny guide John tells us stories of China's historical past as we stop for photos with these mythical creatures. Changling is the largest and oldest of the Ming tombs. Inside the hall, you'll find a seated statue of Emperor Yongle. It's a life-size bronze statue depicting him in imperial robes, seated on a throne. The statue sits in the central hall, symbolizing his power and legacy. This hall also contains artifacts, exhibits, and plaques about his life and rule, making it a centerpiece for learning about Yongle's impact on Chinese history. The Great Wall of China. We chose a section of the wall about 2 hours outside Beijing called Muxinye, which is a bit quieter with less people, but a breathtaking spot nevertheless. Climbing the ancient stone steps of the wall that seem to stretch endlessly over the rugged mountains. Standing on top of the wall for the first time, you could feel the weight of centuries beneath your feet, and we started imagining what life must have been like for the soldiers who manned the wall. It's been said that they were a diverse group, drawn from various dynasties across different periods of Chinese history. The frontier troops, called Bianzhen, were the primary defenders of the wall. Many were full-time soldiers stationed at specific portions of the wall for long periods of time. Also, there were the peasant conscripts. During certain dynasties like the Ming dynasty, soldiers were often farmers, pressed into service. They would farm the land near the wall during peacetime and defend it during invasions. Their role and life on the wall evolved over time, but here's a general picture of who they were and what life was like for them. Soldiers lived in barracks or watchtowers like you see here. Conditions were often harsh, with extreme cold in the north, poor rations, and long, lonely shifts. Food and supplies had to be transported over long distances in peacetime, and some garrisons farmed their own food. However, in wartime, shortages were common, and they were plagued with desertion and morale issues, which I'm sure was dealt with harshly. But in the present day with tourism, this section of the wall is known for its stunning views and well-preserved watchtowers. It was nothing short of a surreal experience, walking on the same stones as the Baiyanghan. We'll never forget it. The next day, we trade the past for the future as we stepped aboard the high-speed G train to Xi'an. Covering a distance of 745 miles in just 4.5 hours, this train is a marvel of modern engineering. We watch Beijing's cityscape fade into lush countryside and mountain ranges, a perfect blend of old and new China. The ghost cities you see while traveling on the G train are said to be the result of China's rapid urbanization, coupled with ambitious real estate development. This dystopian landscape of giant buildings sprawled across great areas of terrain are the remnants of unfinished infrastructure and housing developments, most of which remain virtually unoccupied, so it is quite eerie and apocalyptically surreal. For now, we'll take a window seat and absorb this alien reality. A few hours later, we've arrived in Xi'an, formerly Chang'an, and the starting point of the Silk Road, and one of the four great ancient capitals of China, brimming with ancient treasures, most notable, the home of the terracotta warriors. Our guide Jenny told us that we would visit one of the greatest archaeological discoveries of all time where the warriors were found. This incredible army of over 8,000 life-size clay soldiers, each with unique facial expressions. This army includes not just soldiers, but also horses, chariots, acrobats, musicians, and officials. They were a sight to see. Amazingly detailed, each face seemed to be an actual depiction of individual soldiers in the army, and so well preserved. But getting close to most of the exhibits for pictures proved to be a challenge. Why, you might ask? Because of the pushing. Pushing or jostling in crowded places is common in China due to high population density and cultural differences. It seemed to be normal. Our guide Jenny made it clear that if you wanted to get any good pictures or video, you needed to push your way to the front. In the sense of ideal etiquette, it's totally wrong, but necessary. Trust me, it will happen to you. So, stay calm. Now, back to the warriors. This vast array of artifacts was buried and unseen for 2,000 years. Their mission: guard China's first Emperor Qin Shi Huang forever and protect him in the afterlife. You wouldn't know it now, but these figures were once painted in vibrant colors. However, over time, and being buried underground, then suddenly exposed to the air, caused the colors to fade within minutes of excavation, leaving us with the clay pot coloring we are so familiar with. Here's how it happened. The terracotta warriors were discovered in March 1974 by Yang Jifa and his 5 brothers. The group of farmers were digging a well near Xi'an in Shanxi province of China. While digging, they struck upon some hard clay figures, and they initially thought they were just old statues or relics. However, these relics were so intricate, they thought it best to report what they had found to local authorities, which led to a team of archaeologists being sent to the site. Some of you might have heard that at least one of the farmers who discovered the terracotta warriors in 1974 is still living. We had the honor of meeting Yang Jifa. It was like sharing air with living history. About an hour's car ride away from the terracotta warriors, we arrived at Xi'an's ancient city wall, one of the oldest and best preserved in China, built on the foundations of a much older Tang Dynasty city wall. The 8.5-mile-long wall was a military defense system, complete with watchtowers, ramparts, and a moat, offers epic views of the old city, and you can even rent a bike to cycle along its massive stone battlements. It was a little too crowded for a bike ride, so instead, we were delightfully entertained by an all-female warrior sword performance that took place on top of the wall near the south gate. After the performance, our guide Jenny took us off the normal tourist path to a local restaurant for authentic Chinese food and beer. She explained the significance of the long noodle in Chinese culture. Long life noodles Yimain. She said the length of long noodles in China, particularly those meant to symbolize longevity, can be up to 100 feet long. This was a fitting end to our day and our time in Xi'an. The next morning came quickly, so we had to inhale an excellent early breakfast and were soon picked up again by our guide and whisked off to Xianyang International Airport, where we boarded an internal flight for a 1 hour and 30-minute hop over to one of China's most otherworldly landscapes. From the Great Wall to the Terracotta Warriors, from the Avatar Mountains to Shanghai's skyscrapers, for us this trip has been a whirlwind of history, adventure, and breathtaking scenery. If you enjoyed this journey, hit that like button, subscribe for more adventures. Please don't miss part 2 of this China adventure. Until then, keep exploring.